Good morning, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. We are here live because Israel has issued some evacuation orders in the southern suburbs of Beirut. So just wanted to do a live update here on the Middle East. And they issued 6 evacuation orders for the southern suburbs of Beirut, so we anticipate airstrikes coming up. So I figured I'd do a little coverage here. I don't know how long a stream it's going to be because it's quite late here where I am, but I figured we would cover some of it, and we'll see what happens, and we'll take some of your comments on here. And you can hear drones, or at least one drone, flying overhead. Yeah, sometimes they do daytime strikes, and that is apparently what's going to happen now. I do need to put on the screen that we are looking at Beirut, so let me do that real quick. That's not right. It says Beirut. It's Beirut View 2. So the evacuation orders were about 45 minutes ago, I think. Yeah, about 50 minutes ago. 6 different locations in the southern suburbs of Beirut. So, oops, can't see me. So again, I don't know how long we'll be on the air, but because it's so late here, but figured we'd give you some coverage. And yeah, AFP points out this is the 3rd time they have done one of these warnings in 24 hours. So this would be the third group of strikes in the southern suburbs of Beirut in 24 hours. Ike is watching from Germany. Let's see if I can get you some updates here. But they haven't done any of the strikes yet. By the way, thanks to Crypto King for your support as a member. Thanks, Crypto King. And thank you to our moderators here late at night. Whoever is here at this weird hour, I very much appreciate it. Oh, there was just a, hold on. I think there was just a rocket alert. I'll just let you know where it is. I mean, those happen a lot, you know. There's one rocket alert in Shlomi. I'd say it's a drone alert, actually. It's a drone alert. We have a drone alert in northwestern Israel, right near the Lebanon border. So I'll let you know what I hear about that. Make sure the audio for these is both working. Hold on. That's one. We getting audio off this one too? Hold on. Yes, we should be. I don't know if that has audio. Oh, is that frozen? Hold on, let me refresh this one. Let me refresh the one on the top there. Yeah, that's a live shot on the top there. Ooh, hold on. I think I have a better live shot for you. I might have a better live shot for you, but I'm not sure which one is better, actually. So I'll keep an eye. I have another one I can show you as well. The IDF said overnight they attacked munitions warehouses and headquarters of Hezbollah in the southern suburbs of Beirut. They launched daytime strikes there yesterday, then nighttime strikes, and now apparently they're going to launch more daytime strikes. Thanks, Saadi BB. I'm glad you liked the video. Sarah Hare said there were a lot of strikes yesterday in the Beirut area. Again, there were 6 evacuation orders in the southern suburbs. By the way, in other Middle East news, Yemen's Houthi rebels targeted 2 U.S. Navy warships with multiple drones and missiles on Tuesday, but the attacks were not successful, said the Defense Department. This is an AP story I'm reading. Yemen's Houthi rebels launched drones and missiles at U.S. warships near the Red Sea, but no damage. Pentagon press secretary said the Iran-backed Houthis launched at least 8 drones, 5 anti-ship ballistic missiles, and 3 anti-ship cruise missiles at the USS Stockdale and the USS Spruance. Both Navy destroyers on Monday, actually. That was Monday. He said there was no damage and no one was injured. The Houthi rebels have been targeting shipping through the Strait, through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, for months over the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza and Israel's ground offensive in Lebanon. In response, the U.S. and partnered forces have launched multiple rounds of coordinated airstrikes against Houthi launch sites and weapon storage sites. The U.S. has organized an international coalition to help provide protection to commercial vessels as they transited, but it has not stopped the Houthi attacks. The Houthis say the attacks on shipping will continue as long as the wars go on, and their assaults have already halved shipping through the region. Also, a UN panel of experts alleges the Houthis may be shaking down some shippers for about $180 million a month for safe passage through the area. The Houthis have targeted more than 90 merchant vessels with missiles and drones. Oh, something happened. Something happened? Why is the camera moving? What is happening here? Look at the top there, guys. I don't know why the camera just moved out there. Why did the camera move out there? I have no idea. It's looking towards the water. Little Mink says jets possibly. I don't know what it's looking at out there. Oh, it's a plane. It's just a civilian plane landing at the airport. Probably a Lebanese MEA plane. That'd be my guess. Little Minx, that airline is committed to flying, even with the war going. Thank you, Jack Horrigan. Jack says, don't mess with U.S. boats. Now, just yesterday, it's now Wednesday, on Tuesday, Israel launched one of its heaviest daytime attacks yet on the Hezbollah-controlled area in the southern suburbs of Beirut. About a dozen strikes hit the southern suburbs starting in mid-morning. That was yesterday. But about an hour ago, there were 6 more evacuation warnings. Also, Israel struck the middle of Lebanon yesterday, where more than 20 people were reportedly killed, says Reuters. I actually have some photos I'm going to show you in a little bit. Oopsie. I had some photos of the damage. I believe it's damage from yesterday. Yes. Reuters says in Mount Lebanon province in the middle of Lebanon yesterday, Israeli strikes killed 8 people in the village of Baal Chemay, southeast of Beirut, and another 15 people in June village of the Truth district, Lebanon's health ministry said. The Lebanon's health ministry also said yesterday 5 people were killed in an Israeli strike on Tefata, 2 in a raid on Nabatia, and 1 in the coastal city of Tyre. Another was killed in a strike in Hermel in the northeast, the ministry said. So, Israeli airstrikes still going on around Lebanon. Reuters says Beirut residents have largely fled. Beirut residents have largely fled the southern suburbs since Israel began bombing there in September. Israel went on the offensive in September, pounding Lebanon with airstrikes and sending troops into the south. Reuters says Israel has dealt Hezbollah heavy blows, killing many of its leaders, flattening large areas of the southern suburbs, destroying border villages in the south, and striking more widely across Lebanon. Israel's new defense minister, Israel Katz, said Monday there will be no ceasefire in Lebanon until Israel achieves its goals there, including disarming Hezbollah and returning evacuated Israelis to their homes in northern Israel. And President-elect Trump in the U.S. chose former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, a staunchly pro-Israel conservative, to be ambassador to Israel. Which potentially signals that the U.S. under Trump will reduce pressure on Israel to restrain its warfare. Thanks, I'm only Human, our member. So, giving you a little late night live coverage here, Israel has ordered evacuations in 6 different locations in the southern suburbs of Beirut, and we are expecting airstrikes. John says no ceasefire until they flatten everything that may or may not be related to a threat. Thank you, Sheeptards O, for your support. Thank you, Sheeptards O. Thanks, XDG83, glad you liked the video. David Griffin says, what has happened to Iran's response to the Israeli attack in late October? We don't know if there's going to be one. We're waiting to see. We're waiting to see if there is one. Castle Keeper thinks Israel's going to take the Lebanese coast. Israel hasn't said they're going to try to hold any Lebanese land. That would be permanently, that would be highly controversial. The vast majority of the world, I do not think, would approve of that. I don't know what they're going to do there. Boston Girl says, will be interesting to see what Trump does here. Thank you, Sheeptard Zero. The comment from before was, I believe, in violation of the chat rules. Try to keep it civil and respectful in the chat. So, sorry about that, but that was a judgment call. Was that a boom? We just heard a boom. Just heard a boom right now. Right there. There you go. Look, guys. You can see it right there. You can see it right there. Also, I have a better view for you. I have another camera with a better view on the top. Hold on. I'll get a different one on the top. A new strike right now. We just heard it and we're seeing it. Wow. I'm going to refresh the top camera and you'll be able to see it over there too. Oopsie. One moment. Look at that. We got 2 views of it. New Israeli airstrikes begin. Israel yesterday launched one of their biggest daytime barrages of the southern suburbs of Beirut in the whole war. Well, we have a new strike that just happened. I didn't even see it on the top there. It might have been on that top camera we were on before. I assume it was on the bottom camera, but I didn't catch it until the boom happened. Thank you, Jack Horicon. Jack points out that Israel's not at war with Lebanon. They're at war with Hezbollah, which is in Lebanon. Dubai Canary says, what happened to all the Hezbollah gold hidden under the hospital, where Israel said there was a huge amount of gold and money under a hospital? I think they said it was in the Beirut area. I don't know if it's actually there. If it is there, I don't know that anyone made it inside there. It's a good question. I haven't seen an update on that. Esquith thinks Israel took it? I haven't heard that. So we just saw one strike. Israel has issued 6 evacuation warnings. How long will this go on for in Lebanon? It's been going on since September. Susan Priest Buchner says it will go on till Israel completes their mission. I'm not sure how they're going to complete their mission either. Their mission is to make Israel safe in northern Israel for tens of thousands of people to move back there. But Hezbollah is still attacking northern Israel. Yes, excessive wars. There were 6 evacuation orders. I don't know if what was hit was one of the targets, but that might have been one of the 6 targets there. I'm not sure. Israel said that last night it hit weapons warehouses and headquarters of Hezbollah. It struck southern suburbs of Beirut last night and yesterday and now today. Thank you, Ori Dekel, for your support. Thanks, Ori. I appreciate that. Washington Post says Trump announced on Tuesday he is nominating former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee to be U.S. ambassador to Israel, tapping another pro-Israel stalwart to serve in his incoming administration. His appointment to the UN, as ambassador to the UN, is Elise Stefanik, another staunch Israel supporter. The Washington Post says, unlike most U.S. ambassadors to Israel from recent administrations, Huckabee is not Jewish. Mike Huckabee has led dozens of tours to Israel. When he visited Israel after Trump's first election, Mike Huckabee spoke out in support of Israeli settlers in the occupied West Bank, using biblical terms for the region. There are certain words I refuse to use, he told CNN at the time. He said, there's no such thing as a West Bank, it's Judea and Samaria. There's no such thing as a settlement, he said. Huckabee's comment back then implies he views the West Bank as rightfully belonging to Israel, rather than to the Palestinians, bucking decades of U.S. policy. This is from the Washington Post today. While the Biden administration opposed increased Israeli settlements in the West Bank, Trump's appointment of Huckabee suggests his administration might not condemn such activity. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu last week named Yechiel Leiter, a hardline proponent of the war in Gaza who backs West Bank annexation, as Israeli ambassador to the U.S. after Trump was elected. After Trump got elected, this time, the right-wing Israeli finance minister Bezalel Smotrich said, the time has come to push for full Israeli sovereignty over the West Bank. The Post says it is unclear how Trump might direct Huckabee to address Israel's deadly multi-front conflicts with Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Both conflicts risk a wider war with Iran, which many of Trump's aides have sought to take a more aggressive stance toward. Hey, thanks to Ken Lance for your support from Australia. Thank you, Ken. Thank you to D, our new member. Also, thanks from Australia, Turtle Man. That's so nice of you, Turtle Man. Thank you. And Jack Horicon. Jack says, Iran is the head of the snake. We are bringing you live coverage as more airstrikes are expected in the southern suburbs of Beirut after Israel issued 6 evacuation orders over an hour ago. We have seen 1 strike. Lazy Dong Service says Iran wanted to assassinate Trump, so I think Trump will tell Israel to annex and turn up the heat on Iran. Panda 3000 says this is an unusual time. It's a little bit loud, I think, that hearing like construction or something. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Libalula is waking up in France. Dr. McRib says, scary how all this slaughter became normalized. Castle Keeper says, West Bank, Jenin, and Nablus, etc. is a war zone too, getting no coverage. Quake Cloud says, going to bomb it like they bombed Gaza. Epstein, that was another boom right there. We just heard another boom, didn't we? Didn't we just hear another boom right there? Is the camera, am I wrong? I thought we did. I may be wrong, though. Thank you, D, for your support. And Joe South Oz, thank you. Maybe we didn't. We just heard it. We just heard a boom right there. We just heard another one. Alice says, I heard it. Our viewer said they heard it. But none of the cameras is focusing on it. I don't know what that was. Could it have been a warning strike? Sometimes Israel does that. Peter Chung Peter says maybe a warning bomb. True. Louis says the cameraman isn't showing us. I don't know if the cameraman, I don't know if there was any visual. Might have been just sound. Thank you, Flumpingtons, for the bits on Twitch. That's nice of you. Thank you also, Pro Clicker, for subscribing on Twitch. Roof Knock, as one of our viewers said. Ah, I know what it was. I know what it was. It was sonic booms. MTV Lebanon News says Israeli aircraft breached the sound barrier in 2 batches over Beirut. We just heard 2 sonic booms. That's what it was. Oh, I have a video of, well, it's not really that exciting. I have another video of the first strike that I'll post in the chat. I mean, we saw it, but from afar. Little more on Mike Huckabee, who is Trump's new appointment as the next ambassador to Israel. AP says Huckabee has long rejected a Palestinian state in territory previously seized by Israel, has repeatedly signaled his staunch support for Netanyahu, has maintained throughout the years that the West Bank belongs to Israel, and recently said the title deed was given by God to Abraham and his heirs. By the way, according to the U.S. Department of State, there are 3 million Palestinians in the West Bank. AP says that Mike Huckabee's argument for a so-called one-state solution contradicts long-standing official U.S. support for the eventual establishment of a Palestinian state. Mike Huckabee is against a two-state solution. AP says Israel captured the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem in the 1967 Mideast War. Palestinians want those territories for a future state and view them as parts of a single country now under military occupation. The U.S., along with most of the international community, has supported the establishment of a Palestinian state based on the 1967 lines as the cornerstone of a peace agreement. Even Israel's hardline prime minister once endorsed a two-state solution while rejecting a return to Israel's pre-1967 lines. Netanyahu now rejects the creation of a Palestinian state. Huckabee has never supported any solution that would require Israeli settlers to be uprooted. In an interview with the AP in 2015, Huckabee, among other things, criticized Israel's 2005 withdrawal from Gaza. So certainly, Mike Huckabee, the new Israeli ambassador to Israel under Trump, is seen as a hardline Israel supporter, and he's not in favor of a two-state solution. Per Holstrand says, no two-state delusion, Israeli civil rule is the way. Yes, as Cherry Cola said, his daughter is the current governor of Arkansas. We've only seen one strike so far. We're supposed to see more because they announced 6 evacuation orders. Bernard Bork thinks Palestinians do not want a two-state solution. Dr. McRib believes the Palestinians deserve to live in their homeland. Glasser 00 says getting the hostages released should be the first priority, I would have thought. "13C Gun Reviews thinks the past 40 years prove a two-state solution is impossible. Hey, thanks Roberts May Queen for moderating, and Linda Belk and Larry. Doing some late night where I am coverage, very, very late, 4:12 a.m. coverage. As Missy Karate says, it's a weird hour. That sounded like a boom right there. Now, was that a warning, or was that a sonic boom, or was that an explosion? It was some sort of boom. We just heard it. But I don't see the cameras showing anything. Maybe a sonic boom. Adam Sims says Trump will end it hopefully. Now, I believe we read an article that said most people have left the southern suburbs, but Al Jadid News, which is Lebanese news outlet, says there's they had a picture of a massive exodus of citizens from the southern suburb due to Israel's threat to bomb buildings. That was made over an hour ago. There has been one airstrike so far after the warning. Hey, thanks so much to Midnight Expose Media. That's really nice of you. Thank you, Midnight Expose Media. Oh, Timur, thanks Twitter pated sent me this from Timur Azari from Reuters. Timur Azari says, people often go to this area during the day to gather belongings and check on their homes. So what he's saying is, a lot of people, I guess most people have left that area, but the airstrikes are usually at night in that area, or at least they have been. So people during the day will go to the area to check on their homes and to gather belongings. But yesterday and now today there have been airstrikes in the area. Also last night as well. You can hear at least one drone flying there. By the way, I think I have a quick update for you here. Hang on a moment. Al-Manar TV reports that Israeli... Sorry, I'll tell you in a second. Israeli warplanes launched an airstrike targeting the town of Yader in southern Lebanon, with artillery shelling targeting the town. That was a few minutes ago from, well, 1 minute ago from Al-Manar TV. That sounded like an explosion. Is that an airstrike right there? No, a new airstrike? Oh, I got video of it. I got video of it, guys. Look at that right there, and I have another video of it for you. Hang on, I'll get it up on the screen. I'll get it up on the top for you. New airstrike. Wow, look at that, guys. Another one. That was number 2. And you can see it on Beirut View 2 as well. Yeah. There were 6 evacuation orders given. We have seen 2 strikes during the daytime. So, large amount of about a dozen strikes yesterday during the day, strikes overnight. This is all in the southern suburbs of Beirut, and more strikes during the day right now. Wow. Chung Peter says if it were night, that would be a huge flash. Mr. K says, judging by the size of that explosion, it was a large explosion. Oh, I just saw Haaretz said there were 2 Israelis killed by a rocket barrage on Tuesday in northwest Israel. Let me mention that. Oh, something else going on? Hold on. Yes, Manny Fabian says 2 people were killed in a rocket attack on Nahariya yesterday. I assume that's right near it's right near the border with Lebanon. So I assume those were Hezbollah rockets. The IDFs said 10 rockets were launched in that attack. And I have video that Manny Fabian posted of this attack, this rocket attack from yesterday. So northern Israel is not safe yet for Israel to move back around 70,000 people. Hey, thanks Danny James for moderating. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Jerusalem Post reports. The Jerusalem Post reports that. Oh, the IDF announced something yesterday. Hold on, I'm going to tell you what the IDF said yesterday. Has to do with the southern suburbs of Beirut, which is where we're seeing these airstrikes. The IDF says it has dismantled a majority of Hezbollah's weapons, storage, and missile manufacturing facilities located under the Dahiyah district. The Dahiyah district is what we've been watching. The Dahiyah district is the southern suburbs of Lebanon. So the IDF said yesterday it has now dismantled a majority of Hezbollah's weapons, storage, and missile manufacturing facilities under the Dahiyah district. The IDF said over the past 20 years, the Hezbollah terrorist organization has established dozens of weapons production sites and storage facilities in the heart of the Dahiyah district, the organization's governing stronghold. These sites, systematically concealed beneath civilian buildings, have produced and stored hundreds of missiles and rockets intended to inflict significant harm on Israel. New details can now be revealed about the sites and storage facilities. In recent weeks, Israeli aircraft have carried out a series of strikes to dismantle these facilities. During these strikes, multiple secondary explosions were identified, confirming the presence of weapons within the targeted infrastructure. So, the IDF says it has been going after various Hezbollah targets in Dahiyah, but they say now they have destroyed the majority of weapons storage and missile manufacturing sites in the Dahiyah area, the southern suburbs. Thanks to our new member, Greg Andrews. We are expecting more airstrikes. Thank you, Dexter M, for watching. Shelby is watching from the Netherlands. Paul watching Paul Wildigo from the UK. This is interesting from a Reuters article. Reuters says, among the top concerns at the UN as Trump takes power again is whether the U.S. will decide to contribute less money to the UN and withdraw from key multinational institutions and agreements, including the World Health Organization and the Paris Climate Agreement. During his first term, Trump withdrew from the Climate Accord, which I think Biden went back into, and announced plans to leave the WHO. Now on Monday, according to Reuters, Israel said Monday there was progress in talks about a Lebanon ceasefire and indicated Russia could play a part by stopping Hezbollah rearming via Syria. Though the Iran-backed group Hezbollah said it had not received any truce proposals. Pummeled by Israel's offensive, Hezbollah said political contacts were underway involving its backers in Tehran, Washington, and Moscow. It's involving its backers in Tehran, as well as Washington and Moscow, while also saying it had enough weapons for a long war, keeping up rocket fire into Israel. Israel's foreign minister Gideon Sa'ar said its war against Hezbollah was not yet over. The main challenge facing any ceasefire deal would be enforcement, he said, though there was a certain progress in the talks. The new defense minister of Israel, Israel Katz, said Israel will not agree to any agreement in Lebanon that does not guarantee Israel's right to enforce and prevent terrorism on its own and meet the goals of the war in Lebanon, disarming Hezbollah and its withdrawal beyond the Litani River, and returning the Israeli residents of North Israel safely to their homes. Russia deployed forces into Syria nearly a decade ago to support President Assad in the civil war there. Syria is widely seen as a major conduit for Iran to supply weapons to Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Israel has struck targets in Syria regularly during the conflict. So far, only 2 strikes. It's a little while after there were 6 evacuation orders. And those evacuation orders came almost 2 hours ago. Right now, there have been 2 strikes we have seen. Dexter M says, will Israel move on the West Bank? Do you mean like will they try to assert more control over it? That I don't know. I can't say what Israel's going to do in the coming year. 3 million Palestinians live in the West Bank. Now, could they somehow incrementally increase their control in some way, or do something with more settlements or something? That I'm not sure. It's a good question. I'm not an expert on it. I mean, there's a whole other question of will Israel's some Israeli right-wing politicians are talking about having Israel build settlements again in Gaza, which would be extremely controversial. That's not the official government policy right now. It is 4:34 a.m. where I am, so I don't know how long I'll stay on the air, but I'd like to show you what happens with this episode here. Oh, I also saw this other interesting article. If I can find it. Hey, thanks to Sue Hins. I appreciate it, Sue. Thank you. And Greg Andrews as well. I think I thank Greg, but thanks again, Greg. The Jerusalem Post says Iran's Tasnim news agency, semi-official Tasnim news agency, claims Iran is building a defensive tunnel in the capital, Tehran. Let's see if I can get you more on that. I need 1 minute here. Give me 1 minute. Hold on. I'm going to disappear for 1 minute. Oh, we just saw a new boom, right, guys? Look at camera 2. Look at camera 2. A new strike on camera 2. We just see it on camera 2 right now. New strike on camera 2. Wow. Watch camera 1. Camera 2 is ahead of camera 1, I think. I think you'll see it on camera 1 next. I think you're going to see it on camera 1 next, because camera 2 should be, I think, is ahead of camera 1, I think. Couple strikes, several strikes. Boom, there you go. You just heard it. Now, I don't know if you, I think maybe you heard that from camera 1. Watch right now on camera 1. There you go right there. Look at this. See? Wow. It looks like 3 strikes. Several strikes. 3 plumes exactly. Wow. Daytime strikes, the second day in a row of daytime strikes there in the southern suburbs of Beirut. Are those secondaries? I don't know. It's a good question. Purple Pixel Eater thinks maybe there were secondary explosions. Missy Karate says, weird how the smoke is different colors. I mean, maybe there was the initial strike and other things quickly exploded as well. Damon thinks there was 1 strike and 2 secondaries. Wow. TJ Adams thinks it's an ammo depot. I think the first strike was about an hour ago when we came on the air. Hey, Eddie Smith, good to see you, Eddie. Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate it. Eddie Smith is here. Thanks also, Ben Hero Daro. Our new member, Ben, thank you. Also, hey, thanks so much to Vicky Healy. Vicky, Dave, and Coco. Thanks so much, Vicky, Dave, and Coco, and thank you for your note. LBCI Lebanon News says that the Iranian oil minister said Tehran is prepared for possible restrictions on oil exports after Trump's election. Al Jadid News says this is the Goberi area in the southern suburb of Beirut. That was the latest attack. The latest strike was in the Goberi area. We'll see. Oh, wow. There's a new video from today. Whoa. I'm going to post a link in the chat to a new video from one of these strikes, according to Al Jadid News. It's pretty a violent explosion. I can't show it on the air. I don't have the rights to it. But I just posted it. You can see it in the chat. Wow. Dexter says that the cameraman was framed up on that building before the strike. You mean in the video I sent out? Well, remember, a couple hours ago, almost, Israel sent out evacuation orders. So people in the area know exactly what buildings Israel said they're going to target. Turbo Blue says you can see the missile if you pause it at the right time. Oh, cleaning the camera or something. Has the Gaza operation come to an end? No, that is still ongoing. It's not as active at the start of the war, but the Gaza operation is still ongoing. There is no ceasefire there. The Jerusalem Post says the militant group in Gaza, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, has released a video of Russian-Israeli hostage Alexander Trufanov, who's a hostage from the October 7th attack. It's a hostage video. In the video, says Jerusalem Post, He claims that he and other hostages are running out of food and basic hygiene products. Now, it's a hostage video, so wouldn't be surprising if they made him say something. He called on the Israeli public to continue to push for a deal to bring the hostages home. The Palestinian Islamic Jihad previously released 2 videos of him in May. He was kidnapped on October 7th. Wow. So it's Jerusalem Post says it's a new sign of life video of one of the hostages. Yeah, it's being widely reported in Israeli media about this video. That just came out the last few minutes. I started seeing that reported. If you go to the Jerusalem Post, you can read about it. Dexter says if they release the hostages, their bargaining power is done. Crypto King thinks Trump will stop the wars. Well, we'll see if anything changes. I mean, it's not up to him, right? So he's not the one who has to agree to it, but we'll see if anything happens. The Biden administration said on Tuesday that it will not limit weapons transfers to Israel because the U.S. ally says Israel has made good but limited progress in increasing the flow of humanitarian aid to Gaza. Last month, Washington said that they had 30 days to boost aid to Gaza or could trigger U.S. laws requiring it to scale back American military support. This is from Associated Press. Meanwhile, 8 international aid groups said Tuesday that Israel failed to meet U.S. demands for greater humanitarian access to Gaza. The UN's top humanitarian chief said on Tuesday that Israeli authorities are blocking aid from entering the northernmost part of Gaza, where she said around 75,000 people remain with dwindling food and water, and supplies have been cut off while people are being pushed south. Israel said it is battling Hamas militants who have regrouped there. She said conditions of life across Gaza are unfit for human survival. The UN Security Council meeting on Tuesday was called by several countries following last Friday's report by hunger experts that called the humanitarian situation throughout Gaza extremely grave and rapidly deteriorating, and warned there is a strong likelihood of imminent famine in parts of the north. Also, the UN said that October saw the lowest amount of aid entering Gaza this year, says AP. Dr. McRib, I do not have news on the Knesset leaks. Maybe if we cover, next time we do Middle East coverage, we can talk about that. I'm going to stay on a little while longer. It's really late here, so the problem is if I stay on too late, then it keeps me from getting up at a reasonable hour to cover stuff later today, you know? So we'll give it a few more minutes here. Thank you to Sean Decker in Australia. That's really nice of you, Sean. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Eddie Smith says he's trying to stay up. Yeah, it's just weird hours. I mean, it's just, you know, daytime there. It's like noon time in Lebanon right now. We'll give it a couple more minutes. But at least we were able to give you some updates on the situation. But as I said earlier, Israel is carrying out strikes, not just in the Beirut area, but they're still carrying out strikes in a number of locations in Lebanon, throughout the country. The Lebanese Health Ministry said a number of people were killed throughout the country in different strikes yesterday. The Health Ministry said Israeli strikes killed at least 33 people across Lebanon on Tuesday, and said 44 people had been killed and 88 wounded the previous day. Still a drone flying overhead. That sounded like a boom of some sort, but I don't know. Not seeing anything. Hey, thanks to our member Carolyn. I appreciate it, Carolyn. Thank you. Again, you have people on both sides, on Hezbollah and Israel sides, both claiming there has been some progress towards a ceasefire deal in Lebanon between Israel and Hezbollah, but that has not, no deal yet. Andreas says, world leaders watch to see if Trump endorses Netanyahu to strike Iranian facilities. Pre-breakfast banana says a year's worth of bombing didn't get the hostages back. By the way, if you want to know when we're going on the air live, which can be at any time, make sure you sign up for our free notifications. We have a system set up. You sign up once, it's for free, and then you get sent a notification whenever we go live. Because I can't tell you in advance when I'm going on the air, really. News can happen anytime. But the mods can post the notifications link in the chat. You can also find the notifications link in the description of this video on YouTube and Facebook. Also, when I am not on the air, I post news on my X account. I will post a link to my X account, by the way, at Lookner on X. So you can follow me there for news when I am not live. Hearing some little explosions. Was that another one? Look at view 2. Look at camera view 2. What are they looking at? Are they panning over? Was there an explosion? Yes, another one right now. Look at camera view 2. It's going to happen on camera 1 because camera view 2 is about 30 seconds ahead of camera 1. So a new strike just happened. I believe that's the 4th. You can see it right there. Boom! It just happened on camera 1. I bet we just heard it on camera 1 right now. I think. I'm not sure though. The sound is a bit delayed on camera 2. That could have been from camera 2 actually, because the sound is a bit delayed on camera 2. So maybe that was the camera 2 sound. Unless there was another one, because now it's zooming out. We haven't seen it on camera 1 yet. I think you're going to though. That must have been the delayed sound from camera 2. There were evacuation orders about 2 hours ago. Maybe a little more than 2 hours ago, but around 2 hours ago, I think. That's how we knew there would be strikes. It's weird, we haven't seen it on camera 1 yet. Oh, now there it is on camera 1. You know, a lot of them have been in this area, in that same area there. Look at that, there it is on camera 1 right there. So another strike. Missy is watching from Denmark. The third time, so southern suburbs of Beirut, about a dozen airstrikes during the day yesterday, then strikes overnight, then strikes again today. Third time they've hit southern suburbs of Beirut in 24 hours, basically. By the way, thanks to Roberts Mayqueen. Thanks to our mods, Roberts Mayqueen and Danny James. Thank you so much for being there in the chat. Missy Karate said, holy cow, that's big. Linda Bell, can Larry moderate for us on X? Thank you. Thanks, Parag Chakravarti, for watching on Facebook. And Ann Hajnaki. Thanks, Susan Priest Buchner, for subscribing on Facebook. And Marie Goodson Hamilton and Rita Evans Lang. And Marie Minicello, and Marie Goodson Hamilton. Hey, Captain Jerry Donnelly, that's really nice of you. Captain Jerry Donnelly just gave 5 people gift memberships in the chat. Really nice of Captain Jerry Donnelly. Thanks also to our Twitch subscribers like Chat Fright. Hey, thanks also for the bits, Sweetums. Thank you, Sweetums, for the bits. Sorry, I just saw that. Thanks also to Big Dog Gaming for your support on Twitch. Thanks, Wall Street and Shaggy, for subscribing over on Twitch. Quake Clouds. Uh-oh, what's happening now? Oberon Kenobi, thanks for subscribing. Toastmaster. Sweetums. Leafy is watching from Western Australia. I notice at this late hour, it's like 5 a.m. where I am, there's a lot more people watching from overseas. Guys, I think I'm going to start wrapping up the stream. So we've been on the air about an hour and a half. There were 6 evacuation orders, and I think we've seen about 4 airstrikes. That's what it looks like to me. So there might be some more, but again, I'm a little concerned. The later it gets here, the harder it is for me to get up, because I kind of like to be, all things being equal, I prefer to be up during the daytime here to cover news, although you never know when stuff is going to happen. But I think I'm going to start wrapping up the stream because of the hours here. And again, it's not, I mean, it's important, but it's stuff that's been going on pretty regularly. So, hey, thanks Chandra modding too. Thank you. But I very much appreciate everybody joining the stream. And we'll certainly have more coverage of the Middle East for you. You know, what I could do is I could, well, I don't know if I want to bother doing that. It's so late here. It's 5:10 a.m. Yeah, I got to wrap up the stream. Again, if it was something where there was like a big news story and like there were big new developments, then I wouldn't wrap it up, but kind of was trying to give you an update on what's going on and show some of this and all that. But I think it's time. So I thanked our moderators again. I really appreciate our moderators being here, and thanks to our YouTube members like Dr. McRib, Beep Beep, David N, Horace, Firestar, Winding Road, Little Minx, Sunshine in Arizona, Benny Hill, Tri Blue, TJ Adams. I guess the one thing I could do is I could leave the cameras on for a little bit. Thanks to your Russia. If people want to stick around for a little bit, I can leave the cameras on just for a little bit, but not for long. All right, maybe I'll do that, and I'll say, I'll leave the cameras up for just a little bit because I believe there's supposed to be, I mean, if my count is right, there were 6 evacuation orders, and I think we've seen 4 strikes. But what I'll do is I'll just put this up, and I'll say, stream will end shortly, but Steve is leaving cams up for a few minutes. And then I'll stop back in before when I'm going to end and just say I'm ending, okay? So basically, I'm wrapping up and I'm going to start getting ready to go to sleep. But by the way, thanks to Beep Beep for your support. Thank you, Beep Beep. Thanks to everybody who donated, by the way. That's really nice of you guys. I really do appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who donated during the stream. Second. What am I? Give me a second. For the people who want to, I will leave up the video for a little bit. Thanks to our other YouTube members like Grim Reaper, Dexter M, Sabra Kadabra, TJ Adams, Bring the Noise, Crazy Yoda, DR Cream, Teresa, Ray David, Dr. McRib, Gizmo Hardy, Ian V86, Naked Pagan. Thanks again, Danny James and Chandra, and Robert's May Queen for modding. Ian V86, thanks for being a member. TJ Adams, Starchild. Make sure you subscribe and follow Agenda Free TV. Alicia Alexander, Benny Hill, Crypto King, and all of our other members as well. Thanks, Chatfright, for gifting a sub to Devil Ray on Twitch. Hey, Chatfright gave 2 subs. Chatfright, that's so nice of you. Thanks for the gift subs on Twitch. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the cameras up for a little bit longer. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream soon. Say more possible. But I will leave the cameras up for a couple extra minutes for you guys, and I will stop in at some point. I'll give you an update on the rocket alert. There was a rocket alert, and I need to get to bed though soon. Some rocket alerts going off in north central Israel. Well, kind of northwest Israel. I'll show you real quick here. This is on the So Far Red Alert now. So Far Red Alert. some rocket alerts going off there near the border of Lebanon right now. I don't have a camera up there. I'm going to take out my headphones. Okay, I'm gonna disappear, but I will stop back in before I end the stream. Okay, I'm leaving the video up for a little longer for you guys so you can keep watching it. All right. Thanks, Vicky Morgan, for your support, by the way. All right, so I'm disappearing. I'll stop back when I'm ending the stream, but I'll leave this so you guys can watch for a few more minutes. And thanks to all of our moderators too. Appreciate you all and appreciate everybody watching. Hey guys, it is time. I ended the stream earlier, but I'm really wrapping it up now. I left the cameras on for a little while longer. Again, I appreciate you guys joining. If you missed it, we did a stream before. There were some airstrikes actually before, and we did a little update on the Middle East. Anyways, I'm not going to linger because I already basically ended the stream, but again, I really appreciate everybody watching, and thanks to our mods as well. And we will do more news soon. Thanks, Elmo. I already said thanks to people, but Elmo, Slopperson, everybody else who's been watching. Thank you. All right, guys. Heather, Anna, Turbo Blue, and everybody else. MoFi, Teresa, Kawabunga. Benny Hill. But Pine Ways. Feel free to rewind the stream and watch it if you didn't see it before. All right, I'm wrapping it up. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks, Scott Meekley, Jane Jones, and everybody else, and all of our moderators. And we will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.